Good morning, everybody. My name is Stacy Renee. I'm a mindset coach. I like to say a life on life's terms coach. And today we're going to talk about childlike versus childish. And I've got my notes here. I had to write them because I still don't have internet. I just moved. So it's the same joy. It's just different roots, okay? So being childlike is not the same as being childish. They may look the same on the outside, but they're very different on the inside. Childlike behavior comes from emotional security. Childish behavior comes from emotional fear. So a childlike person laughs easily, they're curious, they wonder, and they play. They imagine possibilities instead of assuming, danger. They ask questions not because they feel stupid, but because they're curious and they feel safe enough to know. A childlike adult can say, I made a mistake. My bad. Oh, I did that. Or I don't understand yet. Can you explain it to me again? Teach me. They're open and receptive. A childlike adult can, say those things, but, knowing that this is not a weakness, that this is confidence without an armor. I've talked about this protective shield that we build. And it's letting that shield down, letting it go, remember who we were within our soul. So childish behavior, let's get into that because this is supposed to be 3 minutes, although it's not having the little red line that goes across the top. Childish behavior assumes guilt. I've talked about guilt and innocence this week. It jumps to conclusions. It makes stuff up. It reacts rather than responds. It's got a whole different energy, right? It sounds like, you're mad at me because someone's not behaving the way that we want. They're not approving of us. They're not approving of our people pleasing. I knew this would go wrong. This is because we were doing something we felt compromised doing that we really weren't into. And this is my fault because we're used to assuming guilt. I've talked about earned guilt and unearned guilt, And so we do this not because it's true, it's our nervous system. This is what we've been subjected to. It's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior that danger comes fast and that safety comes late, if at all. So childish behavior isn't silly, it's protective. It's the inner child saying, if I brace myself, maybe it won't be hurt as much. Maybe it won't be as bad this time. Here's a reframe that I want you all to remember, is that childlike is playful and grounded. Childish is playful and panicked. So it means you're always trying to speed up and asking yourself for what? So emotional maturity doesn't mean you stop playing. It just means you don't stop playing. It just means you stop abandoning yourself. That's all. So if you're healing, don't kill your playfulness or silence your joy. Don't harden your heart in the name of being a grown-up. Grow secure and not serious. I've talked about the polarities this last week. There's security and insecurity. And I know when I grew up insecure, I had insecurity created within me. I had to learn security, and I had to do that myself. And so the goal was never to stop being childlike. I've shared stories about how I played on the room divider with my brothers. They had bendable buddies back in the day of Jack in the Box and Burger King and McDonald's and Dairy Queen. And so we played with our bendable buddies, and I did many of the things that I get to do today as a child. But it wasn't always that way because I had the central nervous system breakdown, that I learned about that danger. So I try to protect myself. You might have too. So I want you to know that the goal is never to stop being childlike. The goal is to stop being afraid. So if you need help in this, again, my name is Stacy Renee. I'm a mindset coach. You can reach me at stacyreineck@gmail.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And thank you so much. Keep it simple this Saturday. Be childlike. Release that fear and doubt. Okay? We often do that through breathing. So take a deep breath in, that childlike spirit. Remember who you are. And hold that feeling a minute. that childlike feeling, that freedom. And then just release gently and slowly the pressures of this day. Notice that you feel safe. Try to do that 5 times like we normally do. But I want to be mindful of your time this weekend. So I hope that you have a super simple Saturday and a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Peace. Thank you for all that have subscribed to this channel, that newly, and those who've been subscribed and those who will subscribe. Much love and appreciation. Thank you for raising this healing vibration.